Hello, hello. Well, that's it. We've come to the end, day 30 of the MBD Month of Mindset Challenge. Today is all about reflect. Now, you may have noticed a pattern throughout this whole thing. There's a number of times where I've said, and this is one that I struggled with, and that has led quite a few of the decisions of what ones to put in. Just quite simply, I've found that if I see other people struggle with something, or if I struggle with something myself, chances are there are other people that struggle with it. And reflecting is one of those things that I'm a person who likes to take action, likes to move forward, and likes to kind of keep moving, keep developing. And when you take that type of attitude, you can often forget, or not just forget, neglect, or outright think that reflection is not particularly useful for that. And it was several years ago, in fact, actually at the beginning of that diary that I had on the desk the other day, it says at the beginning, positive a reflection for positive action. So I actually found that by reflecting on things, I got more value out of the things that I'd actually done, and then that helped me to understand what I was doing moving forward, what things actually will work best for me in the future. And yeah, it was just a really good decompression tool in terms of figuring out the things that you did. It's like, oh, actually, I didn't maybe put enough value on that, or maybe I didn't think about that one. And it commits it to sort of memory. It helps you to internalize what you've actually just experienced, but ultimately it lets you learn for the future. So, the expression that I used in the quote this morning was, there's an expression, don't look back, you're not going that way. It's like, right, okay, you're not going that way, but it has some great information on the way you are going. And the other one that I do quite like, which is only look back to see how far you've come. That was where I was before I sort of started implementing reflection. I was like, okay, I'll look back, and I'd look back in comparison, and that was it. And I'd only look back at I'd cherry pick with it, look back at the things where I wasn't doing as well, and then I'd look now to how I'm doing and things are better. And that's really useful when we do it that way around. But when we do it the other way around, and let's say we're in a hard place right now, looking back and saying, oh, how was I back then? What could I do back then versus now can be quite detrimental. But at the same time, it's like, well, actually, on reflection, what back then, what in that month of mindset helped, and could that actually help now? What, when I was a kid, really, really helped in terms of like, what things did I do when I was a kid that I really enjoyed, and could I possibly enjoy those again now? Those type of reflections, asking those type of questions, what helped me before, how did I get from that position to this position, what things surprised me, especially with the Month of Mindset Challenge. You may have found, like I talked about on the Pamper Day, how well the Pamper Day works for me surprised me quite a lot. I just thought I wouldn't be into that, because I thought it's just kind of sitting around with a face mask on. It's like, that's again goes against this whole action thing, but actually taking that time out from action. I did a jigsaw puzzle a couple of days ago. I've ordered some emergency jigsaw puzzles for this period, and that is one of the things that actually makes me way more mindful than pretty much anything else. I said yesterday I was going to go off and do some drawing, and my actual drawing is downstairs, which is annoying. I've created a little character, but I did a few sketches and stuff. I'm no artist, but actually time spent drawing, that was my wild card for yesterday. So that was actually again another one of those things that I'm like, okay, actually I did really enjoy that. Even when I went to adult colouring in, a few years back, it's like that was one of those things that actually I really enjoyed as a kid. I really enjoyed painting models as a kid. So chances are those things would make me really, really mindful right now. So that's the idea of the reflection. What I'd love to know is, what have been your highs and lows of the month? How many of them did you stick to? This isn't kind of like, you can send that to me in a DM rather than put it in the comments if you want, but that's just actually because if you remember right the way back to the pledge, it was about the fact that we're not going to judge ourselves on how many we stuck to, or like, it's not actually a competition. But what I would love to know is just, did you dip back in after you missed one? If you did miss one, did missing one mean that actually you didn't want to carry on? These are the type of things that I'd love to know, so I can help people when we run this again next year. And so I can help you. I can maybe, if you do send me a DM with those things, I will reply and maybe give a little bit of extra help as well in the DM. So It's been an absolute pleasure spending the last month with you. But if I'm perfectly honest, one thing I'm reflecting on, I'm really looking forward to not having to post a video tomorrow. I love this process, but I've done it every single day for 30 days now, and I want a day off, and that's cool. So tomorrow is the 1st of May, day off for me. I'll see you soon. I'll be back with other stuff. This playlist on YouTube will probably end now, but on Instagram, obviously, there's no playlist. It's just the feed, so it just carries on. Drop me all those comments on how you got on with it, and what you're excited about, what you're actually going to take forward from what you've learned from this month.